Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at set 7159, the Lego Star Wars Pod Racing bucket, which released in the year 2000. It has 291 pieces and originally retailed for $20. As you can tell, it was bought at Kmart probably for $10, as the sticker shows. I did find this pre-owned. This was actually a set I did not know about at all, and I thought it was really cool. So I love the Lego buckets that Lego used to do, the ones that look like this, and the fact that they did a Star Wars one just blew me away. And it's like, as you can tell, black and glittery to look like stars or space. It's really cool, actually. It is meant, and it took me a minute because they've done so many pod racer sets in the older years of Star Wars that I was like, where does this one fit in? Well, this was actually designed to be for younger children, so they would get a play bucket and then a wide variety of pod racers that were built more simplistically than the other sets that we see. So that's what we're taking a look at today. As you can tell at the bottom, it says it is ages 5 to 8, so it is meant for smaller children and me. Pretty cool nonetheless. This is the only Lego Star Wars bucket that they did. Lego Star Wars does not generally advertise to small children. You know, they don't make junior sets. They don't make Duplo sets for Star Wars. So it's kind of interesting. This is kind of maybe they're like run and done of that attempt. And perhaps I assume it wasn't the best seller because they never did it again. But I think nonetheless, it is pretty cool. You can see the Star Wars logo on the top there and Lego. And then on the side, it gives you a look at what's inside the bucket. And then on this side, you have a picture of the pod racers again with Jar Jar. It just doesn't have the piece count on this side. And then on the other side here, you have some alternate play builds. And so pretty cool. As you can tell, the very top has the little Lego studs and the lid does come off. And yeah, I really like it. I think it's super, super cool. It did come with an instruction manual, which again is, I guess, based more for younger children because it has this little animated Lego Anakin on the front. And then each top Lego has some funny little scene that repeats throughout the building instructions. So we did get that. They're horribly warped. They were like that. Just that's how they were packaged back in the day. And then the 2000 Lego catalog, which is pretty cool as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the actual set and then the minifigures that go with it. All right, everyone, here we are. So as you can tell, this set comes with 4 pod racers. And so let's just get right into it. The first one that we get here, they have names, but they don't. This information is not included with the Lego bucket. You have to like outsource that information. But this was probably like Gascono's pod racer or Ben Quadranero. As you can tell, they are built with these gray Technic bars that I actually think look cool. I think it's better than having the brick built stand that you see with some of the older pod racers, just because they're so big and they need a little bit more stability to support the accuracy of the build. These actually are relatively simple, and I think that it works out pretty well. So this translucent piece here is supposed to be the like the coil between that, you know, the thing that makes Jar Jar get stunned. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's represented here as a translucent brick, which is actually pretty cool. And we have lots of different colors, and they just were like, hey, let's just put together some engines and make some weird cockpit. This definitely looks like something that kids could have put together. I kind of like that. It gives it definitely a special kind of look. It's not overly engineered for Lego. And it's not exactly reminiscent of a pod racer, especially that cockpit is a little interesting. Anakin's is a little bit more familiar. The Technic bars on his allow him to flip upside down. Sort of weird, but that's a thing. They have done, you know, they've given it kind of tried at least to give it his engines. I don't know if those are quite successful in that illusion, but there they are. And then his little cockpit for his pod racer has a printed brick, which is pretty cool. But yeah, no steering wheel or anything, or steering handle or anything of that nature. This next one is really weird. I feel like they built this one backwards. Pod racers are supposed to have engines in the front, but this one is specifically supposed to go in this direction. It's not horrible, but it is really weird. Again, just with these very small, weak cockpits, just is very reminiscent of something that I felt like I would have made if I had tried to make some pod racers back in the day. I do like the coloring, you know, the gray and blue is nice. All of these, I really like these translucent bricks that they have. I think those are cool. And then this one is Aldar Vito's pod racer, which we see a more realistic version of in another Lego set, but this is his modified small junior pod racer, if you will. Again, with the bars here. Big engines, pretty cool. And there's our creepy looking Aldarbido, which I'll get into in just a moment. So yeah, that's basically the pod racers. I like it for the fact that it gives kids pod racers to play with because they're not going to be so concerned with accuracy. They're going to want it to look sort of like the thing, and then they want to be able to play with it, probably most importantly, in my opinion at least. Another cool feature that this does come with is the starting bridge for the pod racers, as well as, and this is funny to me, it comes with 4 tires or 5 tires. I don't know why, because pod racers hover. They don't need tires, but it does come with some. I guess if you wanted to do an alternate build, there are some wheels in some of the pod racer builds. So like right there are those wheels. So you could convert that to be like a drivable car or something. Don't know why you would, but those are there. So they include that. And then we have the starting bridge, which is pretty cool. It's a very simple build, but I think it conveys what it's trying to get pretty good. So these are going to be the lap counters that count the laps as they go through. And then this, for some reason, is on a spinning brick, but this is like the stop and go. I'm not sure why it spins around like this, but it's kind of neat that it does. So not too bad. And then on the other side, as it is a very just a facade build, we don't have much difference. You could put people in here if you want, but I think it's actually pretty okay. It gives a decent look, I think, to those pod racers when you put it in the background. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the minifigures, give you guys a look at those. All right, so first up we have Little Annie, and this one is a little bit different. He's got a less accurate helmet. It is gray with black glasses. It's supposed to be brown. We see it brown in some of the other sets, but I guess for this smaller, more junior set of Legos, they didn't so much care, and they wanted to make a difference between the two. But he is on tall legs. This is before they started using short legs for kid minifigures, and he's yellow. He has a little freckled face print there, and then his little disheveled slave outfit. No printing on the back, no double-sided face. Very, very simple little face, but it gets the point across. You know this is little Anakin Skywalker. And then we have Jar Jar Binks, which I still will say I think is a pretty good minifigure. They definitely did better to color him when they redid him back in like 2011. He has old dark gray pants and then an older printing on the torso, which isn't horrible. But yeah, he's all pretty much one flesh color for the most part. But a good figure to get. He does come out in quite a few sets though. And then we have the exclusive minifigure of this set, if you want to call it a minifigure, and it is Aldarbido. And he is actually not the only Aldarbido that we get in LEGO Star Wars. He comes out as a single piece mold in Watto's Junk Shop, and I find both of them extremely creepy. This one more so, that they thought that somebody in the LEGO team thought that this was an okay minifigure to produce. It is a battle droid without a head, holding a triangle wedge minifigure face. It is super strange. Mine is a little bit worn, so he's slightly weak. But this was horrifying to me. And his printed version, his one single molded piece version, is not much better, though they look extremely different. So this is supposed to be his like little elephanty tusk trunk thing, I guess, with the middle arm there. And then his face looks like nothing I've ever seen. I don't know. It's very strange. He does come with a brown hat and gray goggles, which is more accurate to what little Anakin wears with his helmet, but it is what it is. That's fine. He's super weird minifigure, guys. I think he is incredibly strange, and I would like to have a more accurate redo. This is just weird that they put this in like a little kid's Lego set and was like, this is good enough. This is a minifigure. It's mostly Battle Droid, but it's super strange. Super, super, super strange. I'm so weirded out by this, but I actually kind of like it. So yeah, that's basically this set. Again, you get 4 pod racers, a little starting line, and some tires, and 3 minifigures with a Lego bucket, which I think is super cool. This definitely is not a set to pick up if you don't have a weird fascination with that Lego bucket. There are much better pod racing sets out there, and these have not done well with age. As you can tell. But I think overall, it's a very unique, super weird and quirky little Lego set, if you will. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And until next time, I will see you guys later.